What if everything you believed about birds was wrong? And hidden cameras proved it. Most people think they know birds. We see them on fences, in trees, at feeders, and flying across the sky. But there is one problem. Almost everything we see happens when birds know humans are nearby. So what happens when people leave? What happens when the yard becomes quiet and birds think nobody is watching? The answer is much stranger than most people expect. Today, you are going to discover surprising behaviors that hidden cameras have captured when birds believe they are completely alone. Some of these moments are fascinating. Some are unexpected. And one behavior later in this video may completely change the way you look at backyard birds forever. Before we go deeper, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tell me in the comments. If you could secretly watch birds for one full day without them knowing, what would you want to see the most? Now imagine this. A bird lands in your backyard. You step outside. The bird immediately flies away. Most people see this happen and assume the bird is simply afraid. End of story. But hidden camera footage tells a much bigger story than that. Many birds do not actually leave the area. Instead, they move somewhere nearby and wait. Sometimes they sit quietly in a tree. Sometimes they hide behind branches. Sometimes they watch from a fence farther away. And this is where things become interesting. The moment the human disappears, the bird often returns. Not slowly, not hours later, sometimes within minutes. It is almost like the bird was waiting for the person to leave. Researchers who study bird behavior have noticed this pattern repeatedly. Birds are constantly making decisions about safety. Every movement carries risk. Every landing spot must be checked. Every sound matters. That means birds behave very differently when humans are present compared to when they feel completely safe. And hidden cameras reveal a side of birds most people never get to see. Birds that seem nervous while humans are outside often become much more confident once the area is empty. They explore places they avoided before. They spend more time on the ground. They move closer to feeders. They investigate objects sitting in the yard. But perhaps the most surprising thing is how patient some birds can be. Instead of rushing into the open, many wait and watch first. They observe. They listen. They make sure the area is truly quiet. Only then do they continue with whatever they wanted to do. Think about that for a moment. While people believe they are watching birds, birds may be spending just as much time watching people. And once the birds decide the human has finally gone, their real routine begins. What hidden cameras captured next revealed a completely different side of backyard birds that very few people ever notice. What hidden cameras captured next revealed a completely different side of backyard birds that very few people ever notice. The moment birds feel safe, their behavior starts to change. Not in a dramatic way at first. It begins with small things. A bird that stayed high in a tree suddenly drops to the ground. Another bird that was watching from a distance moves closer to the house. One bird lands near a feeder, then another arrives, and then another. Within minutes, a backyard that looked empty can become full of activity. But the strange part is not that birds return. The strange part is what they do after they come back. Many birds spend a surprising amount of time exploring. They hop around objects. They inspect branches. They look under leaves. They check corners of the yard that humans rarely pay attention to. Hidden cameras often capture birds stopping suddenly and staring at something for several seconds before moving again. It almost looks like they are investigating their surroundings. And in a way, they are. Birds gather information constantly. Every day they are learning where food can be found, where danger might appear, and which places feel safest. A backyard is not just a backyard to a bird. It is a map filled with opportunities and risks. But one behavior stands out more than any other. Curiosity. When birds think nobody is watching, many become far more curious than people realize. A bird may spend several minutes examining a single object. A flower pot, a garden tool, fallen branch, something that seems completely unimportant to a human. Yet the bird keeps returning to it, watching, checking, exploring. Researchers believe curiosity helps birds understand changes in their environment. A new object could mean danger, could mean food, could mean shelter. The bird does not know until it investigates. And this creates some fascinating moments on hidden cameras. Sometimes birds discover things people never expected them to notice. Tiny insects hidden under leaves, seeds trapped in cracks, safe resting spots hidden inside bushes. While humans walk through the yard without seeing any of it, birds are carefully studying every detail. But perhaps the most surprising discovery is that birds often follow routines. Not random movement, not random visits, actual routines. Some return to the same branch every day. Others check the same corner of the yard at nearly the same time. Hidden cameras repeatedly capture birds following patterns that look almost planned, which raises an interesting question. If birds are following routines, exploring their surroundings, and constantly gathering information, how much do they actually know about the places where they live? Because what hidden cameras revealed next suggests birds may be paying attention to far more than food, trees, and safety. They may also be paying attention to the humans around them. Because what hidden cameras revealed next suggests birds may be paying attention to far more than food, trees, and safety. They may also be paying attention to the humans around them. First, that idea sounds hard to believe. After all, birds are small animals living their own lives. Why would they care about people? But hidden camera footage has revealed something fascinating. Many birds do not simply react to humans in the moment. They appear to remember them. Some birds arrive only after certain people leave the yard. Others avoid specific areas when particular humans are nearby. And some birds seem to know exactly which homes are most likely to provide food, water, or safety. Think about that for a moment. A bird may know more about your daily routine than you realize. It may know when you usually come outside, when you fill a feeder, when you mow the lawn, even when the backyard is likely to be empty. Researchers believe birds learn these patterns through observation. Day after day, they watch what happens around them. Small details become useful information. Over time, that information helps them make better decisions. And this is where things become truly interesting. When birds think nobody is watching, they sometimes spend long periods simply observing. Not eating, not flying, not searching for food, just watching. A bird may sit quietly on a branch and scan everything around it. It watches movement. It watches other birds. It watches changes in the environment. To humans, it may look like the bird is doing nothing at all. In reality, it may be gathering information. The more researchers study bird behavior, the more they discover how important observation is to survival. Birds that notice danger earlier often survive longer. Birds that learn routines find food more easily. Birds that understand their environment make fewer mistakes. And hidden cameras reveal that much of this learning happens when birds feel relaxed and safe. That means the moments humans rarely see may actually be some of the most important moments in a bird's day. But there was one final discovery that surprised many researchers. When birds truly feel safe, something changes in their behavior. They become calmer, more relaxed, more natural. It is almost like the bird finally stops worrying and starts acting like itself. And what that reveals about the secret lives of birds may be the most surprising part of this entire story. And what that reveals about the secret lives of birds may be the most surprising part of this entire story. When hidden cameras continue recording after humans leave, something remarkable begins to appear. Birds stop acting like visitors. They start acting like residents. The backyard is no longer just a place they pass through. It becomes part of their daily world. Some birds return to the same resting spots every day. Others visit certain areas in a specific order. Many follow routines so consistent that they almost seem planned. What looks random to us often turns out to be anything but random. And perhaps that is the biggest surprise. Birds are not simply surviving from one day to the next. They are constantly learning. Every visit teaches them something. Every observation adds information. Every safe experience helps shape future decisions. That means a bird sitting quietly in your yard may know much more about that space than you realize. It knows where food is likely to appear. It knows where danger might come from. It knows which areas feel safest. And in some cases, it may even recognize the habits of the people who live there. Hidden cameras have helped reveal a world that usually stays hidden from human eyes. A world where birds are making choices, solving problems, exploring their surroundings, and adapting every single day. The truth is, most of a bird's life happens when nobody is paying attention. We see brief moments: a bird landing on a branch, a bird visiting a feeder, a bird flying across the yard. But those moments are only tiny pieces of a much larger story. And maybe that is what makes birds so fascinating. There is always more happening than we can see. So the next time a bird suddenly flies away when you step outside, remember this: the story may not be over. The bird may still be nearby, watching, waiting, deciding when it is safe to return. Because when birds think nobody is watching, an entirely different world begins to appear. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more amazing bird mysteries and hidden animal behaviors. And tell me in the comments, what do you think birds do when they believe nobody is watching? I would love to hear your thoughts.